Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. A wind advisory is in effect today. Rain in the area early, otherwise mostly cloudy and windy. Temperatures hold steady for the most part in the region. Winds turn to the west-southwest, 15 to 30 miles per hour. Gusts could get as high as 50 miles per hour. Tonight it remains mostly cloudy. Lows drop to 30. Winds turn to the north-northwest and diminish a bit to 5 to 15. Higher gusts still possible, especially early. And then Thursday, a chance for snow developing or building into the area. Sleet could mix in at times. Up to an inch of snow and sleet could accumulate. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 47.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. I am filling in for Art here today and tomorrow. Art is on a well-deserved vacation, so you get to hear all about the Great Lakes Bay region today. I am here with a couple of folks that I consider to be great friends, but I think more importantly here in the region, great business owners, family business owners. We're going to be joined here today by Marisa Horak-Bellotti with FP Horak and Zach McClellan with Pros, Zach and Mac, and other fine establishments who, they're going to talk a little bit about what it's like being a small business owner here in the Great Lakes Bay region, being a family business going through the COVID pandemic. And we're going to chat all about their great organizations. But want to first start, Zach, for those that are listening. Zach is a native of Frankenmuth, but was also a pretty prolific high school hockey player that went on to play hockey at Michigan State University. And I am a fellow Spartan grad. And during the second, let's say the last half hour of the show today, between 10:30 and 11, I'm actually going to talk quite a bit about Michigan State and what transpired there Monday evening and share a lot of thoughts and just maybe some things for everybody to think about. But Zach, it's hard to start this show, especially with you sitting next to me. The two of us have such deep ties and love of Michigan State. Just curious if anything you want to say here this morning as you think about what transpired Monday evening.
Yeah, no, thanks. I think a lot of us, there's so many fans and people, that are such fans of the university have had so many good times there. Us going to school there, you know what I mean? You have every memory that you have is, I call it heaven on earth, the campus. And, it's gut wrenching as we were talking about it. But you just have to pray and be confident that the university is going to bounce back. Got an email yesterday from Kim Tobin, and I loved the last paragraph where she talked about the Spartan will. And that's been something they've been pressing for a long time. And it just says it's resilient, it's hopeful, and it's indomitable. And I think that is a great way to put it. I know the university is gonna rally back and be that place that you refer to. I refer to as heaven on earth because it is a special university, and just keep praying for the families and the young children that unfortunately just were affected in that terrible day.
Yeah, it's, here in the Great Lakes Bay region, we're home to so many great higher education institutions, but it was kind of a great reminder to me that here in this region, there are literally thousands of alumni, people that work and reside here every year. Our region, we send hundreds of students from our high schools that go on to Michigan State. And that at the end of the day, we're a big part of the state of Michigan, and the Great Lakes Bay region is truly part of the fabric of Michigan State. So
I agree with that.
Even though that may have happened an hour and a half away, I think so many of us consider Michigan State home still. So
very close to home.
I appreciate it. And I don't know if I look forward to talking about it during the next hour, but I feel like I need to talk about it in the next hour. So we're going to do that.
I agree.
So let's talk about small business. And Marisa, ladies first, we are going to start with you. We're going to kind of go up and take that 50,000 foot view. Can you tell everyone about FP Horak? I think a lot of people know the name. They know your parents well, Fritz and Lucy. But a great refresher of what FP Horak is doing today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. So, FP Horak is a full service print and marketing organization. We focus in on building digital storefronts for clients that brings technology for multiple locations, decentralizing your ordering while centralizing your accounting. We're a little bit unique in the fact that I know that we've pivoted and changed quite a bit. So for our region, it's been, FP Horak is poof gone, and SK Silitron is poof there. But no, we've pivoted, we've moved. We're off of 46, kitty corner from next year, next to Duralast, and we are thriving and loving and evolving and feeling really great about how blessed we are to be able to pivot the business during a very crazy time, and not only the world, but in the printing industry. People stopped using operational documents. That wasn't as fun.
Yes. So, Marisa,
true.
I think so many know you historically as a printing organization, and probably a lot of the listeners were like, oh, we did this with Horak and they printed this. And I think a lot of folks view you as a printing company. To what level are you still doing hard copy printing, binding, etc., versus what you used to do? And is it still as relevant?
Yeah, absolutely. So print is still relevant. It's not dead. It's changed, right? So, and anytime that you're marketing, it's important to tell the same story to multiple different audiences. And how you do that is whether it's through digital, whether it's through social, whether it's through email marketing or print, it's important to have that same mix because everybody consumes content differently. So, I would say from a print perspective, it's still a huge part of our business. We've just pivoted to more wide format, large format, fulfillment warehouse, digital printing, and that allows us to do print on demand versus it being more larger print runs. So there is still a need for that. And when we do need that, we warehouse and release. But our focus is more like basically focused on working with the customer to understand what their goals and objectives are, help them really improve their bottom line through eliminating the need for obsolescence by mass producing things. Things have just changed, and it was important for us to change. So we were able to buy new equipment and do new fun things and offer our clients much more of a breadth of opportunity to work with us and help them improve their bottom line.
Fantastic. And through the course of the show, we're going to talk about some of those changes and why they were necessary. But Zach would like to pivot to you. There's nothing better than talking about prosciutto and chocolate to start your Wednesday.
Exactly.
Can you talk about the various businesses you and your wife own from Frankenmuth and now into Bay City, and how you've expanded, and you're a great regional entity these days?
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it, buddy. We're very lucky. You know, I'm lucky, like Marisa. We grew up in a family business. My family being in the candy business, so you referred to Zach and Max. That's one of our brands that we have throughout Michigan, and so I'm lucky there. You know, you grow up in a family business, you're in it and working and learning a lot, just kind of osmosisly being around it and listening to your family at the dinner table. So I was fortunate for that. And then when I left to play hockey, like we touched on, came back and with my wife Karina, who is a first generation, Italian here, and just thought she, as we dined and hung out with friends, we thought maybe we could bring another aspect in terms of an experience. So she was a big inspiration in that, and we started Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie, and then are fortunate and lucky enough that we got an opportunity to try in Bay City. So we've been trying since early November, and so far it's been really blessed experience. It's been really fun, closer to you guys, which is nice. So I get to see you guys even a little bit more. But yeah, we're lucky. We have a couple businesses up in Sault Ste. Marie as well. One being an Oak Crepe and coffee shop, kind of a spin-off of a restaurant, and then candy businesses too. So just lucky and fortunate to be able to keep doing those things.
Yeah, and Zach, what are your other candy businesses called here in the Great Lakes Bay region in Frankenmuth?
We have the Frankenmuth Fudge Kitchen and the Frankenmuth Taffy Kitchen. And then we've expanded that Zach and Max brand to kind of be something more visible throughout Michigan. And so we have two of those in Frankenmuth, and then one in St. Ignace and one in Sault Ste. Marie. Yeah,
I know this summer we were heading to Mackinac, and we always like to, I take the kids over the bridge. They love the experience, and they like, why would you possibly take the ferry over from Mac City when you can go to St. Ignace and get the exhilaration from going over the bridge? But
I love
it was great this year. We're pulling over, and I'm on my way to Shepler's, and I look and I'm like, oh yeah, there's Zach and Max. Like, guess we're gonna have a little stop
Absolutely.
there.
You
So,
texted me, I think, with that one.
absolutely,
Yeah.
it's great. So it's great to see you expand.
I love that you do that. I mean, that is a good. I think of that all the time. The bridge is something special. You know what I mean? So not the spinoff, but to go to St. Ignace and take the same ferry. I'm a big.
I love
a
it.
big guy.
Well,
that.
folks,
Cool.
we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be back with Zach and Maurice after these messages.
Your local Zematic dealer works hard to give you every advantage when it comes to your irrigation operations. This year, we're giving you a head start in preparing for the upcoming season by letting you choose between industry-leading interest rates and deep per-tower discounts on a new Zematic pivot. The earlier you act, the better your deal will be. Better deals, better equipment, better season. Better contact your local Zematic dealer today to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. See your local dealer or visit lindsay.com/spring sale for full details.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Hey y'all, this is your girl Cheryl Underwood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge for a coupon and daily support? Sign up at metamucil.com today.
Ew, the toilet sneeze. Every flush spews bacteria onto surfaces that little Bobby touches and then spreads to the light switch and everywhere else in the house. Yuck. So Dad used Microban 24 to help stop the spread. It's the only sanitizing spray with a long-lasting shield that keeps killing 99.9% of bacteria on surfaces for up to 24 hours. Be confident you're protecting your family with Microban 24. Don't just sanitize it, Microban it.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Americans were shopping and spending last month. Retail sales rose 3% after a decline in December. It's the biggest increase since March of 2021. Excluding auto sales, retail sales were up 2.3%. Both numbers are stronger than forecast. Deep discounts after a disappointing holiday season attracted shoppers. Airbnb executives say they expect average prices to come down this year. Its rates increased more than 35% since the onset of the pandemic. The vacation rental company just reported its first ever full year profit. Kraft Heinz earnings were stronger than expected, though its outlook for this year is cautious. Kraft Heinz raised prices about 15% over the year earlier period. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. They do not care if the value of your retirement is sacrificed. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Fabry to Larkin, he scores! Robbie Fabry found Larkin off the left side goalpost. This one's a power play goal.
The Red Wings play 9:15 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. I am here with my good friends Marisa Horak-Bellotti and Zach McClellan. I'm not going to lie, in between during commercials we start talking and the laughter goes. So if we jump back on the air laughing, we just can't help ourselves. That's that's the level of friends we are. So want to talk about just change. And Marisa, you alluded to the change of FP Horak. You know, you for years we all knew you in downtown Bay City, where Shaheen Development is now, and it looks like a Starbucks going up where your former building used to be. I remember back in high school, your mom had this brilliant idea to bring high school kids over to help collate, and we had to walk around in a circle and collate books back in the day. It is so we all kind of remember that. And then you moved to this big, beautiful building that you guys built right off US 10 at Mackinac. Really kind of a main feature when you're driving between Bay City and Midland. It really sticks out. And you sold that building, and there's massive construction going on. And now SK Siltron's there. Talk about that transition. I mean, how do you go from moving from downtown out to Mackinac? You built this building that you thought was going to be there for perpetuity, really the future of your company. And then I'm sure, you know, when you and your dad, your cousin Matt and others really went down this venture, you never had any plan or inclination to sell this for a manufacturing facility. Can you just talk about that, and then where you moved and how, and just kind of why did this all go about? Why this massive change?
Absolutely. So, you know, moving from downtown Bay City, it was always a goal of my father's to have development in downtown Bay City. And Shaheen's are just a blessing for the region. And they really brought the uptown in a way that, you know, transformed and evolved our community so much. And they do that everywhere. But for us specifically, it came at the right time. We had our facility out there already, and we were adding on to it. So we moved out to off of Mackinac, and yes, at the time it was a great thing. There was a lot. We were the largest business forms printer in the whole Midwest, and we did, you know, but forms took a major hit during COVID. And at that time, I had heard through, you know, Bay Future that the SK was looking for a building, and they were interested in taking a look at ours. At the time, it was more of a 5-year plan, not necessarily a 6-month plan to pivot and change the business. But I feel like it was sometimes those moments where you feel like it's just the right time and clouds parted and you saw, you know, the eye in sight, and you were like, okay, let's do this. So yes, SK, I believe in development and economic development to my heart and my core. And anybody that knows me knows that I feel that way. The Great Lakes Bay magazine was to publicize that. And my father had, you know, that was always their joy. So keeping SK here was such a, you know, an icing on the cake. And it was so important for our community to have that organization being present in the Great Lakes Bay region was huge. So that was also driving us to say yes to that move. At the time, we had bought a facility out, Stevens Van Lines, wonderful family business. They were transitioning, and we had bought their facility. We did we did some investment within that building and converted into a printing and warehousing facility. And it was just the stars all aligned, and it was just absolutely perfect. And for us as a business, we needed it more than I would have ever imagined to survive through what happened with COVID and what happened with the way people were buying. That changed. You know, people figured out how to do things digitally and not have to like rely on operational documents. So it changed our business, but It was the right time. Clouds parted, eye in sight.
Yeah,
Went forward.
I love hearing her talk about it because she's, humble in the fact of the family business, and I'm lucky that I was able to be, and I think you too, kind of around during that whole thing. So you get things bounced off of you, and we buy product from FP Horek, so.
And I buy tons of prosciutto and chocolate.
a lot of print, but and at the time we were going through a lot of print stuff with FP Horek during all that, and there was a lot, and you think about, I know in a family business, you read a lot of statistical stuff, right? As it goes from one generation to another generation. I mean, it gets bad, right? When you go from second generation, the percentage drops like almost in half. You go second to third, it's like another half. Now you're looking at a really hard percentage of success. So watching it from afar, 30,000 feet in our case, it was really special. I now, when I go and tour their new facility, which is amazing, by the way, I'm really impressed with how Marisa was able to do that as a second generation, or whatever, third generation, which the percent is like, just so everybody knows, is like 10% success.
Right.
No pressure, right?
No, yeah, I don't mean it like that, but you've already done it in terms of like recreating, and that is so difficult. And so I really look up to her for that, and I think it's a really good just example of determination to make it work.
And I think the key is surround yourself with people that are better than you. And I, humble or not, I have an amazing team that pivoted that business.
Yeah.
I am so, so, so blessed, and friends that pushed me and pull me and challenge me in ways. Both of you have challenged me for a long time, and it helps me just be better, and it helps our team, strive for more.
Yeah. And Marisa, I got to tell you, that warms my regional heart. You guys were an institution in Bay City, being downtown, and then still in Bay County off Mackinac. And it just shows the power of regionalism today. At the end of the day, we needed a new building. It's not like you were like, okay, so guys, we have to look at the imaginary dotted lines that go around Bay County, and we can only be in those imaginary lines. We live in a world where you're like, hey, where's the best facility? Where can I keep it where my employees can still get here easily? What's the best size for my company? What's the right investment? And in this case, it happened to fall in Saginaw County. And so great. Now you live in Bay County, but your business sits in Saginaw County. Your employees live all over. It's kind of the power of regionalism, right?
Absolutely. I'm about the biggest Great Lakes Bay cheerleader that you've got.
That's real. That's real. And it makes my commute when I go and visit them at work. It's right in the middle of Frankenmuth and Bay City.
So. It makes it easy for me to go to Pros for lunch.
So, Zach, we're going to start and then probably spend a few more minutes after the break. So you had to deal with some pretty big transitions and some pretty big obstacles, especially as it relates to COVID, being in the restaurant, food, and tourism business, right?
Yeah.
Tourism really took a giant hit that first year of COVID.
Absolutely.
Still coming back. We had Annette Rummel on yesterday talking about
nice.
The resurgence of tourism here in the Great Lakes Bay region across the state. Can you talk about some of those challenges being in a tourist town like Frankenmuth with your various establishments and a restaurant and everything that transpired? You had to close, and the rules. What was that like? I can't even imagine.
Man, it was it was something.
That is the most appropriate word for radio, folks.
Yeah.
It was something. He wants to say things, but we're going to be good. It was something.
Oh man, yeah, no, but in truth, Frankenmuth was ferocious in the way that they handled COVID as a city. It was amazing. From like the first time that right away when COVID happened and they started shutting things down, Frankenmuth created like a group from city, chamber, businesses, school, churches, right? They were all in, and we would meet often via Zoom and figure out the plan of attack. And it was a ferocious, united front that everyone was going to do this the same way. We were all going to use the same signage, to the same stickers, and it was special. And I think we then kind of used that platform in Sault Ste. Marie businesses, our St. Ignace businesses, as best we could, because it was so well done by the city to survive with everyone working together. I mean, it was great. You'd literally hear from a pastor, then you'd hear from someone with the police force, and then all the businesses would chime in. And we decided that this is going to happen and everyone's going to run the same way, and united front on that. And I think it was really special on how it was able to survive.
Zach, I want to talk a lot more about that here in the next segment, but right now we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back on the Art Lewis Show.
The Bay Aranac ISD Career Center is the premier provider of career and technical education in the Great Lakes Bay region. Our open house is Thursday, February 16th from 4 to 7 p.m. Explore 23 different programs with hands-on training and speak with local labor organizations about apprenticeship opportunities. Students can discover career paths that may not have been considered, allowing them to follow their passion. Open house Thursday, February 16th from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Bay Aranac ISD Career Center in Bay City.
Don't wait until spring to make your money grow. Right now, you can spring into an 18-month certificate account that will make you 5% APY. Yes, 5% APY. Let your money grow at 5% for 18 months with Kapoco Community Credit Union. Start investing it today, and Kapoco will help your money grow faster with the best financial support. Short-term certificate accounts available for a limited time. Visit kapoco.org for more information or talk to a member service representative today. APY is annual percentage yield. Some restrictions apply. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 7.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money at a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 7.99% APR to 21.49% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Frankenmuth Credit Union presents the 6th annual Bay City Country Music Festival, Thursday, June 15th, featuring Jimmy Allen.
Girl, what's your name? What you drinking? Yeah, what's your
And Friday, June 16th, featuring Mitchell Tenpenny.
Cause drunk me can't get over you.
And this year, a third show on Saturday, June 17th, featuring Nelly. Get your tickets today at KenSheltonPromotions.com. Also sponsored by J&B Boots USA.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Bearded Axe in Saginaw. You are going to get half off of a 1-hour session of axe throwing for a group of 4. It's $40. They offer hourly times for axe throwing, ninja stars, and tomahawks. Bearded Axe is a local veteran-owned business. They're located at 4375 Bay Road in Saginaw. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, what do you call a woke droid from Star Wars? I don't know. R2, me too. Got it.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. In the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in for Art today while he's on vacation here this week. You guys get me today and tomorrow, and I am here with Marisa Horak-Bellotti and Zach McClellan. Before the break, Zach, we were chatting about kind of the challenges of COVID, specifically being a restaurateur.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because I can tell you, that was just a really difficult time. Folks like myself who don't like to cook every night were really struggling with, hey, I really want to go to dinner. And, you had to close and then open to different occupancies. And, you thrive on numbers, right?
Yeah,
And being able to fill a restaurant. How did you, frankly, survive COVID being a small restaurateur in a tourist town? The fact that you're here today still open and successful is an amazing story.
Thank you.
How difficult was that?
It was really hard. Honestly, it was a lot of hard work. You had to have, like Marisa talked about earlier, you have to have really great people surrounded around you that are, and especially during COVID, people that were willing to kind of fight alongside with you to figure out ways, it was kind of, it was a challenge, but we just, honestly, I give props to the Saginaw County Health Department. They were with us, at least. I can't speak for everybody. Well, I tried to be really transparent with how we were trying to get around all of the different things, right? You went from closed to you could partial open, you could half open, you were full open, then you closed, and then you're, so there's a lot of ebbs and flows. And I just decided I was going to be really transparent with the health department on the things that we were going to do to try to be safe and also stay alive. And they were great about it.
And if I might add,
I appreciate
you
that.
also did some really epic things with converting the ability to be able to buy online. And I mean, you didn't have that before, right? So, I mean, I was totally guilty of buying the porchetta sous vide multiple times.
I mean,
picking it up out of the back door.
You're so right. People, our region and people really hyper focused on restaurants and how do you, can you buy alcohol from them and take it away? Can you just get to go? I mean, everyone was so supportive, and after when we were able to open, obviously jumped and came and visited, and so it really was a band together, I think, of everyone to support.
I'm so glad you bring that up, because if you're a local health director like a Christina Harrington in Saginaw County or Joel in Bay County, I mean, those were really difficult jobs to be in with
Pretty
all
thankless.
that they were.
Yes. And they were epic. They were so helpful.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
and
for all of us.
I just really appreciated that. And I, you don't get a lot of times to thank them, right? A lot of times when they come in, you're just like, okay, we got to make sure things are good. So, but in truth, they were really great during COVID with us. So
and they all wanted the businesses to survive, right? And it was hard. The rules kept changing, and then anytime that you think you were on the beaten path,
and in truth, they weren't changing the rules,
right?
So they were learning them kind of as we were, and I really respected the way that the Saginaw County Health Department, because that was who I was working with at that time, handled it.
And the other groups that I thought really did a great job, our local chambers of commerce, I think really stepped up. I know
absolutely,
and all the counties, whether it was working to help find resources, direct to PPP loans, find out what the state could do. The economic development entities got involved in terms of grants from the MEDC for small business. Heck, I even remember, the chambers partnering with other entities like Consumers Energy to have gift card programs that if, you bought a $25 gift card, you got one free to a restaurant. It seems like everyone, and it was what I loved, the focus was on locally owned businesses.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was on who has grown up here, lives in this community, family businesses. How do we make sure that our local restaurateurs can survive the most difficult challenge that no one was prepared for, that you were never trained for, that no one ever said, hey, someday you're going to have a pandemic and no one's going to know actually what's going on. And we're all going to be debating what's real and what's not. And but by the way, here are all the rules you're going to have to put in place, right?
I mean, if you're in business and you were throughout COVID, you got some sort of master's degree that cannot be taught.
Nope, I agree with you completely.
It's like, I mean, no offense to the collegiate side of it, but like, dude, you just had to rally and figure it out, and you had to deal with from like federal government stuff to local government stuff, and it was something else. But there's some crazy silver linings through it that you learn, like online ordering and there's so much.
And that's been an area of your business that your team is epic when it comes to converting that business model over, right? So being able to come in and instead of just being able to come in and buy, but buy online and have it shipped as gifts and things like that, that has been huge. And I'm so proud of you.
It's been fun.
Awesome.
So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to take one more commercial break. When we're back.
Breaks come so fast.
I want to hear about how our listeners can do business with FP Horak and with Prost and Zacamax and others after these messages.
A 401k can be an important asset for many Americans' retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years. Tune in Sundays at 8 a.m. on WSGW for your Financial Empower Hour with Jason and Carl Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment in Midland. They will give you information like how your 401k's tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
Join the parade to Mardi Gras Madness at Saguenay Eagles Landing. Get into the New Orleans party spirit and you can win up to $1,000 cash. Fridays in February from 7 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Earn 1,000 points and play the Mardi Gras kiosk game to win premium play prizes. Then from 1 to 9 p.m., be there for hourly drawings to take home up to $1,000. So come out for Mardi Gras Madness at Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saguenay-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. I hate the struggle of tough, greasy messes on my stovetop. So I just wipe, and I'm done.
When I'm frustrated with stubborn bathtub soap scum, I just wipe, and I'm done.
Mr. Clean Clean Freak delivers an innovative cleaning experience with a powerful deep cleaning mist that starts working on contact to break down tough messes in seconds.
Just
wipe,
done.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSW Online poll about the Fair Tax Act of 2023. There's a faction of House Republicans introducing the decades-old idea of the Fair Tax Act. The bill outlines a 23% use tax, though some analysts believe it's going to be closer to 30%. If it's enacted, it would replace both payroll and income taxes. Supporters even say in the future, the IRS could be eliminated because the bill would cut off funding in the future for the IRS. We do remember that former Michigan Congressman Dave Kemp did hold a fair tax hearing years ago, but never went anywhere. Some Republicans say that Speaker McCarthy actually said he was going to bring it to a vote.
Part of the agreement on getting the votes so he could become Speaker.
So would you vote yes or no on this Fair Tax 2023 bill? We'll give you yes. We'll give you no on this bill, though you support the overall idea of a use tax. Or no on this bill and you don't support the use tax at all. Or the popular, I'm not sure. You can make your votes by going to WSW.com. Scroll down the homepage. Look for the poll box and make your vote that way.
Your morning team, Charlie, Denise, and Pat, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Matt Felan here with Marisa Horak-Balati and Zach McClellan talking about FP Horak and Zach's conglomerate of businesses in the region and across the state. And we have literally spoke about COVID too much. So I want to pivot for our listeners, that they may be hearing or familiar with your businesses. I think it's important. How can they do business with you, Marisa? If folks that are listening and they're like, oh, I didn't realize FP Horak does this now, or that they still do this. For those that are listening and may have the need for your services, how can they work with FP Horak?
Absolutely. Well, they can call me for starters. I am very easy to find. But mostly, and actually we're kind of really pivoting our business to really focus on more corporate gifting and different things like that. So when they're thinking of promotional items and kitting and fulfillment and anything that you can possibly imagine when it comes to really just nurturing your customers, FB Horak is right a phone call away. Zach and I are actually working on some fun stuff that we're working on together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you allowed to divulge? Or are you going to leave us all hanging here?
Yeah.
We're working on just
Yes.
kits. When she
Yes.
talks about kits, it's like things from fundraisers that you can do. To be able to
Oh.
sell for whatever, if it's schools or sports teams or anything like that. That I think she's doing a really cool job trying to create right now. And
As
so
someone
we're kind of
who
working together on that.
buys and sell these things, if there's a kit, a
Right?
box with prosciutto, cheese, and chocolate in it,
And custom
I'm just going to let you know
charcuterie
I'm
boards, you
in.
got it.
Like, yes,
Right?
I like where we're heading with this.
I know.
She's Marisa's really got a lot of great ideas and super energetic. So it's contagious when you're around that environment. So
Yeah, and when
working together is fun.
She brings you coffees with extra shots. I mean,
That's
we
the energy.
have as
I'm
much
the
energy
energy
as we
person.
need here this morning.
Yeah.
So, Zach, I want to talk about Prost
Yeah.
a little bit. Specifically, how can folks do things with you? I think because sometimes people often think, oh, look, cool restaurant, something to go out to on a Thursday or Friday night. And I'm going to throw this in. And it's a great problem when you can get into Prost these days.
Oh,
I mean,
thanks.
you guys are
Mhm.
jammed. It's
We're
crazy.
we're trying really hard. So.
It's awesome. But how can folks utilize you, whether it's maybe for catering or
Yeah.
you have special rooms in Frankenmuth and Bay City? What are those called? How
Absolutely.
many people can they hold? What kind of events? What times a day? I think folks would really like to know how they can, maybe
That's awesome.
bring some business over to Prost at either of your locations.
Thank you. Yeah, at both locations, we definitely do catering. We do a lot of parties, and whether it's rehearsals or some weddings we've done already, but we
Yes.
do, and then we just do a lot of family functions that people have in, Super Bowl parties or things like that at their house. So
Totally let me jump in here. So I will tell you that I think at both you can put 25 in the side rooms, right?
20.
20.
Up to
Okay.
18 to 20.
20. I might squeeze in 5 to
Yeah. With Marisa, she'll squeeze in
She
5 to 20 more
breaks
people
an
in there.
occasional rule.
Breaks an
on-
occasional
on
like,
these
oh,
things.
they're just
Yeah.
hanging out at the bar. I
Yeah.
promise. No, so you can put 20 in. You
Yeah.
can rent out that room. You can host special events where they do high top, like
Yeah,
the
we can
separate
move
tables,
high
move the
tops.
tables, enjoy. They have TVs in them, so you can
Run a
host
PowerPoint,
meetings in
things
Bay
like that.
City, run PowerPoints, and the food. The food is epic. So make sure that you focus in on the fried burrata. Just came. That's
Yeah,
super
that's
exciting.
very new.
The
Yeah.
beef shank, you guys did such a great job with the local butcher, and he
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Thank you. Larry's-
Sous that. So, I mean, you must go there. You must eat. You must have brunch. There's not a lot of places to have brunch in the Great Lakes Bay region,
That's
and
awesome. Thank
that
you.
is the best place to have brunch.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I-
But yeah, we've been doing more places or business meetings in Bay City so far, business
Yes.
lunches, which has been really fun. We've enjoyed that. So that's
Yeah,
an
no,
opportunity.
there's no shortage. I may or may not have had a mimosa flight that was meant for the table myself.
Yeah.
That may have transpired. That's
Me too.
That's the way to do it on
who
Sundays,
knows
man.
whether that's happened or
Yes.
not.
That's how you got to do it.
And don't
Sundays.
forget the full-on flan.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
just gonna say the full on.
I haven't even had it yet. I feel like totally left
That was
out.
that
the
was a
full
really
on
fun.
flan was a great idea.
That was a
you
great
know,
great thing to do.
this
together.
is the great part when you have friends that do business like that. They were very generous in creating a drink for my birthday, but a few dollars
Yeah,
proceeds went to the
donated.
Great Lakes Bay Mental Health
It was
Partnership.
really cool.
And what a fun way to have your birthday celebrated and have a little bit of promotion. A lot of people I got a lot of texts. Hey, I'm at Prost. I'm having your drink. We're helping support. It was a lot of fun. And I'll tell you, we brought in some national STEM leaders one time. We went out to Frankenmuth and we did a private dinner there. What I loved, and I don't know if everyone will knows this, but you go off menu with these private dinners. You will create
Thank you for
really
saying.
unique menus for
like
these
the
private events.
porchetta.
Yeah, when you deal with us, if it's a room rental, we can do anything. It's not just the sandwiches or the charcuterie boards. We'll do full on salmons, porchettas,
Family style
yeah.
dinners.
There's a lot of different options, all family style dinners that are really unique and different. So
we we worked with your wife closely on that event.
Yeah.
And Karina created, I can't remember if it was a Chateaubriand or if it was sliced filet. It was remarkable.
Anything
it
was
was beef tender. It was beef tenderloin.
remarkable.
Yeah,
That woman is like
Karina deals
golden
a lot
touch.
with our head chef. Our head chef is the man. He's a great guy and always willing to think outside the box. And so they work together all the time on these private parties and with people, and they just create these crazy menus which are super tasty.
Experiences are so unique and important from a perspective of just food and culinary expertise. It's just wonderful.
No, thank you guys.
I have one final question here in the last 90 seconds I want to ask you. What's a piece of advice you'd give to people that are listening? Like, gosh, I would love to, I have this great idea, or I want to start my own company, or I want to own my own, whatever it is. What advice do you have to people who may be apprehensive and really scared to get involved? What would you say to them? And you have a minute. So it's your short version. What would you say to them?
Do it. Just do it. Only one way to move forward.
Yeah. I think I would agree with that. I think sometimes if you think too much, you get in the way. And so I think a lot of times if you feel like you can do it, do it. And sometimes it's not always a tap in putt. You have to really find your way. I got turned down on a lot of banks with Prost. And I don't mean that, but you just got to keep going, and it works.
How many months did you have to open Prost? I love that. We don't have time.
I had under a year.
Yeah,
under a year.
I was not prepared.
It was awesome, though. Watching it transpire was awesome. It was the coolest experience.
I think, for this region, one of the things that I love is that we do have a lot of great entrepreneurs. Zach, Marisa, you are serial entrepreneurs. I just want to close by saying thank you for the business you provide, the jobs you provide. You're the lifeblood of this region, these family businesses, and I want to see you continue on with your next generation. So thank you both so much for being here today.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. And with that, we're going to take one more break here in this hour here on the Art Lewis Show.
Superior Insurance Group, Next Door Trader, and MDL Companies bring to you the second annual Rat Pack Gala. We invite you Saturday, February 18th to get your tux and petticoats out for the classiest event of the year. Step back in time with the Summit Tribute Group, Deke's Paradise Casino, a 17-piece orchestra, and the Rat Pack. Enjoy an evening out with dinner, casino, and a show. This formal fundraiser will be one to remember. Entire ticket proceeds to benefit Leaders for America that focus on strengthening the leadership culture across the nation. Leaders for America will be investing in the young people in Bay County, creating a culture of personal and community growth. Dance the night away with Marilyn Monroe to the sounds of Sinatra, Martin, and Davis. Cash bar, casino, and dinner from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m., followed by the big show from 8 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. Join us Saturday, February 18th for good food, great entertainment, and most important, a good cause. Visit theratpackgala.live for your tickets today.
Your local Zematic dealer works hard to give you every advantage when it comes to your irrigation operations. This year, we're giving you a head start in preparing for the upcoming season by letting you choose between industry-leading interest rates and deep per-tower discounts on a new Zematic pivot. The earlier you act, the better your deal will be. Better deals, better equipment, better season. Better contact your local Zematic dealer today to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. See your local dealer or visit lindsay.com/spring sale for full details.
Science proves quality sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. So you're at your best for yourself and those you care about most. Life-changing sleep, only from Sleep Number. It's our ultimate Sleep Number event. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
That's all for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. I'd like to thank Zach McClellan from Prost and Marisa Horak-Pilati from the FP Horak Company for joining us. Coming up in the next hour, we'll talk with Alexandra Hahn and Cameron Wing with Eat Great, and I am going to chat quite a bit about Michigan State University and what's transpired this week. And now on to CBS for the national and international news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A white supremacist is in court in Buffalo, New York, waiting to be sentenced to life in prison for killing 10 people at a top supermarket in a mostly black neighborhood. First, Peyton Gendron hears from family members of some of the victims. Mark Talley's mother, Geraldine, was among them. He's chosen not to speak at this morning's hearing.
We have an 18-year-old white man who's being looked at as he's a 12-year-old, little scared child.
The gunman, who's 19 now, wore bulletproof armor and a helmet with a live streaming camera when he opened fire with a semi-automatic rifle last May. There's a new racial controversy in the Deep South. CBS's Jim Krasula has the details.
80% of the white residents in Mississippi's majority black capital city of Jackson would be included in a proposed new judicial district with hand-picked prosecutors and judges. Critics say that would lead to further allegations of deliberate racial prejudice in a Republican-backed legislative proposal.
Investigators still trying to pin down a motive in Monday's shooting that killed 3 students at Michigan State University. The suspect shot himself to death. Correspondent Roxana Sabiri is in East Lansing.
According to law enforcement, the gunman had no ties to MSU, but he did have a criminal record and was sentenced to a year of probation in 2019 for illegally carrying a concealed weapon without a proper permit.
A vigil will be held for the victims on campus today. The Chinese spy balloon taken out by U.S. fighter jets off South Carolina shouldn't have come as any surprise. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
U.S. intelligence had actually been tracking the balloon when it took off from Hainan Island off of the South China coast last month. At that point, it then started drifting towards Guam and Hawaii before making a northward turn up to Alaska.
Experts believe those 3 mystery objects shot down over the weekend were harmless research balloons. Retail sales are on the rebound. After dropping over the holidays, they jumped 3% in January, despite the Fed's efforts to tamp down inflation. Leading the way, spending at furniture and clothing stores, restaurants, and at car dealerships. It's the biggest jump in sales since March of 2021. The White House says Tesla will open parts of its supercharger network to other EVs. WWJ's Jeff Gilbert.
That vast network had been a competitive advantage for Tesla. Tesla gives it up for unspecified government funding. Still to be worked out is how vehicles with different charging connections will hook up to Tesla's system.
Hundreds of thousands of Chiefs fans are ready to paint the town red today. A parade for this year's Super Bowl champions is set to roll down Kansas City's Grand Boulevard at noon. Most schools are closed for the day. The Dow is down 181 points, S&P off 26. This is CBS News.
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Enjoy all the benefits of Liberty Bridge for free until April. Save time and fuel by taking the most convenient route to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge. Brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. For your passport to the lowest rates once tolling begins, get your BC Pass before April at baycitybridgepartners.com.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
You know, I'm starting to worry about all of this crime lately.
I was worried too, so I made sure I was prepared.
How'd you do that?
I took my CPL class at Applied Training Solutions. They covered everything I needed to know to get my concealed pistol license. You can never be too safe.
Applied Training Solution is Michigan's premier training facility. We offer both live fire training and digital simulation training. Whether you're looking for your initial training or advanced training, see us at simurange.com or ATS Midland on Facebook.
At Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, an evening with James Taylor.
Oh, I've seen fire, I've seen rain.
Friday night, June 23rd, part of the Soaring Eagle Summer Outdoor Concert Series.
How sweet it is to be loved by.
Tickets start at $36, on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com.
Oh, Mexico, you got a friend.
James Taylor, Under the Stars, June 23rd at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. A wind advisory is in effect for the forecast area. We'll see cloudy skies here for today with temperatures steady early, then slowly falling. Windy southwest winds around 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusting as high as 45. Then for tonight, mostly cloudy and a low around 28. Thursday, a chance for some snow showers here mixing with sleet at times. About an inch possible to accumulate, cloudy skies, temperatures holding rather steady. Then by Friday, partial sunshine develops, high of 24. Saturday, mostly sunny and breezy, high of 39 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vujicic with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 50.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome back to the second hour of the Art Lewis Show. My name is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, and I'm filling in as a guest host for Art today and tomorrow, as Art is on a much-needed vacation. In the first hour, I had a couple of guests with small business, one of those being Zach McClellan, who owns Prost. And we kind of get to keep on that theme here a little bit with Zach and Prost, as he is taking part in the Eat Great Festival, which kicks off this Sunday here in Saginaw at the Temple Theater. And today I have Cameron Wing, the Eat Great brand manager with Outlier, as well as Alexandra Hahn, director of special events with Outlier, here to talk to us about Eat Great. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And I know you guys are old pros at this show. You've been on with Art through the years, as the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational has become a staple here in the region. I always like to go big picture. What is the Eat Great Festival, and really when did this begin and become a feature here in the region?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking. So Eat Great, the brand, was created alongside the creation of the Dow GLBI that takes place in Midland. So you have the golf tournament that takes place. You bring in the awesome LPGA athletes, but then you also have this ancillary food brand. And this food brand was created to try to uplift and showcase the culinary talents that we have in the Great Lakes Bay region, especially with COVID that's going on or had gone on. The restaurant industry took a really big hit. Staffing, ingredients, guests not coming into doors as often. So you really saw that impact on the local restaurants in Saginaw, in Midland, in Mount Pleasant, in Bay City. So really this brand is all about showcasing these restaurants, trying to get people to move about the region, try a restaurant that's new to them, and showcase the awesome food that we have. So Eat Great Winter is the first food event in the Eat Great series that we have in the year. And then we also have pop-ups, and we will be at the golf tournament as well. So we're really excited to start off with Eat Great Winter. And this will be the third Eat Great Winter that's been happening. We started in Midland at Dow Gardens, and then took a year off with COVID that happened, and then came back last year in Winona Park, Bay City. And then will take place in Saginaw coming up in a few days. So we're really excited.
Yeah, it's I got to first thank you as someone with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. Your branding has been fantastic and has made my life a lot easier and willing to help promote and tell the region. Eat Great is part of that. I know yesterday we had Annette Rummel on with the Great Lakes Bay Convention and Visitors Bureau. They run tourism on the Grow Great mantra. So Eat Great is just a phenomenal fit. I can tell you last year I had a blast when we were down in the igloos. Down on the river. It was quite the undertaking. I give you guys a lot of credit to do that outdoors. This year's a little bit different though, correct? Where you went from Dow Gardens and went to the igloos last year down in Bay City. How's it different this year than in the years past?
Yeah, absolutely. And the guests were kind of 50-50 on that once we came out with the igloos and moving it inside. When we got with our team looking at planning for this year, our whole goal was to create a unique food event in the middle of February, right? The event's not synonymous with igloos per se, but a unique culinary experience for the Great Lakes Bay region. And we were kind of kicking around, do we stay with the igloos? Do we not stay with the igloos? But I think the really cool thing that we're doing with the temple is we're showcasing a historic building in Saginaw while also showcasing 13 restaurants in the Great Lakes Bay region, which is really cool to invite guests from around the region into this historic building while showcasing those restaurants as well. And the feedback we've gotten is like a little bit split, honestly, Matt. It's like, oh, darn, we're not going to be in the igloos. We love the igloos, bundling up, wearing our boots. But then the other half's like, thank goodness we couldn't deal with the heaters. We were shivering the whole time. So it's been split 50-50.
Cam, I'm not going to lie. As I get older, I think I fall into the camp of if I don't have to bundle up to enjoy my dinner and, that time, it's kind of fun to do it. But I am looking forward to being indoors this year. And I don't know, maybe I'm just a little too bougie and sensitive, but I am happy to be indoors this year. So I love you. You've been talking about the culinary experience of the Great Lakes Bay region. Zach earlier talking about Prost and what they do with really kind of that charcuterie concept and meats and cheeses and great drinks. We really are a phenomenal destination for culinary. Can you talk? You said 13 different entities are going to be there. Who can folks expect that are going to be here starting Sunday at Eat Great?
Oh gosh, yeah. So, like Cam was saying, we're very fortunate that this brand has been with us since 2019. We've seen some highs, we've seen some lows, and we've really seen our restaurant partnership grow over the last couple of years. So, kicking off in 2019, we had a food festival. Giving a little background here, we had a food festival that showcased about 60 different vendors, 35 of which were restaurants. We are, like I said, fortunate to have added to that. This year, we have 13 restaurants participating in Eat Great Winter. 7 actually are brand new to the Eat Great family this year. Yeah, we're really excited about that. I think that also really kind of shines a light on where we are in a region with growth and kind of that comeback from COVID, which we're just thrilled about. But a couple of restaurants that you can see are Prost, as you mentioned. Pasong's Cafe. Cam, you're going to have to jump in and help out here. Eastman Party Store will be involved this year for the first time. We have Timbers Bar and Grill. We have the H Hotel participating. Jake's Old City Grill. Bavarian Inn. Michigan Table. The Patisserie. And O Macaron. So a number of fantastic restaurants and businesses in the area.
So, I have to ask, what is it? So if you're, My Table, Michigan Table in downtown Bay City, right? Cool restaurant, farm to table
Awesome
concept.
restaurant.
Amber Lynn took a vision,
She's a
worked
rock star.
with Rod and the Acostas to go in on that first
Yes.
floor, this large dynamic space. What does a restaurateur have to do to be a part of this? Because I'm sure there are people listening going, hey, wait a minute. I want to be part of Eat Great 2024 and 2025. For those listening, what does a restaurant have to do to really be involved? What's their level of commitment? How does it work?
Yeah, so we really try to limit the barrier for entry. We want to make this as easy as possible for the restaurants. That has always been our kind of driving force there. If it's not right for the restaurants, why are we doing it, right? So if they want to participate, they just contact our friend Cam over here. But we provide stipends to the restaurants for participating. This is not a donation. We want to make sure that we're giving back to the community. That's really, one of our main themes. I know, Matt, this, you've been involved with the GLBI and with Eat Great for a number of years. So giving back to the community, enriching the community, driving local business growth, that's what we're all about here. But yeah, so all they need to do is provide their food, maybe 1 or 2 staff, and the rest is on us. So we have stipends. We provide all of the servingware, all of the marketing. We try to make things as turnkey as possible.
It's really remarkable. And in this case, what kind of volume of food are they going to be making for an event like this?
It's a lot. It's a lot of food.
It's a lot of food.
And coming into the kitchen when it all gets delivered, it's a lot of food and a lot of space. But each night selling out is about 224 total guests. So if you can picture 224 pieces or servings every night over the course of 3 nights, it's a lot of food, a lot of good food too, as you're alluding to. The menu is probably one of our best Eat Great Winter menus that we've had. So we're really excited and feel really fortunate to have the restaurants participating, especially the restaurants in Saginaw. Like you talked about Timbers and Jake's and Pasongs, just to name a few. And they're really looking forward to it as well.
So I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about how folks here in the region can come out and be a part of Eat Great. We'll be back here in a few minutes on the Art Lewis Show.
Homeowners, Bob Wilsey of SunTech Wind and Solar here in Standish. Are you looking for energy independence for your home? You should be. Michigan utilities are closing their remaining coal plants soon, resulting in more power outages. Home solar with battery backup not only provides power during the grid outage, it reduces your light bill every day the sun shines. Unlike a generator, it just sits there. I'd love to show you how it all works. Come visit us at 319 South Main Street in Standish or visit us at suntech-windsolar.com.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Oh, here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 7.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money at a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 7.99% APR to 21.49% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Science proves quality sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. So you're at your best for yourself and those you care about most. Life-changing sleep, only from Sleep Number. It's our ultimate Sleep Number event. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks lost ground at the open, though there's a sign that consumer demand remains resilient, even with a backdrop of layoffs and inflation. Retail sales rose 3% last month, excluding autos. The increase was 2.3%. Another report on industrial production registered no improvement in January. Airbnb shares are up nearly 9%. The vacation rental company's holiday quarter was better than expected. It posted a profit for the first time, and it's optimistic about this year. TripAdvisor also reported an upbeat quarter. Demand jumped. It's also seeing a continued recovery in travel demand. And Tesla shares opened 2% higher as the electric vehicle company prepares to open its charging network to other brands of EVs. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
It's Jesse Kelly here. I can't afford to lose 30% of my 401k or IRA again, and I'm assuming you can't either. Call Oxford Gold. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver is a portfolio protection plan, and Oxford Gold has made it easy as 1, 2, 3. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's it. You now own precious metals. Call Oxford Gold today to learn more about the 1, 2, 3 protection plan. 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
It's the Ontario Hockey League action of your Saginaw Spirit.
Now it's Locust again. Over Hill goes back to Sapavelov. He scores! Couldn't draw it up any better than that.
After an overtime loss against the Sioux Greyhounds last weekend, the Saginaw Spirit looked for a little payback when they hit the road to face off against the Greyhounds this Wednesday night with coverage starting at 6:50 p.m. on 100.5 FM.
Your Saginaw Spirit play on 100.5 News Radio WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, what do you call a woke droid from Star Wars? I don't know. R2, me too.
Got it.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Matt Felan filling in for Art today. I'm here with Alexandra Hahn and Cameron Wing with Outlier, who work closely with the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational and all of its affiliated events, including Eat Great. So we talked about a new venue this year. We're indoors at the Temple, and being in a venue like that creates opportunities for maybe some new experiences. And in chatting with you, I'm hearing some words that I like. A little paparazzi and photos and red carpet and speakeasy. Like, you guys are really adding some dynamic features into this year's Eat Great. Can you talk about maybe some of the new opportunities for people to really enjoy their evening at the Eat Great Festival?
Yeah, absolutely. I think moving to the Temple, really leaning into the 1920s feel. I know the Temple Theater was constructed in the 1920s, the later 1920s. So we want to take guests and transport them back to a showing of when the Temple Theater first opened. So really leaning into those guest experiences. We're going to bring out the red carpet. We have valet service for our guests. We have a champagne tower inside, live music.
Whoa. Did we just say champagne tower? Because those are two great words that should always go together. Can you explain to me what a champagne tower is and how I partake in the champagne tower?
We'll see you there, Matt.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it, folks. I mean, he said champagne tower. I'm in. You had me at champagne, Cam.
Yeah, those first 3 minutes or so after you get out of your car, walk the red carpet, they're going to be pretty special. So.
Yeah, I don't know if Eat Great's ready for me in this kind of glory. And earlier you said, they have to have one of every item. So 224 guests, you have to have one of.
Absolutely.
Guys, you do not get this physique by eating just one. If that item's great, I'm just going to tell you in advance, you may want to prepare a little bit more than the 224 the night that I'm there, because we're going to do some damage. We're going to have some fun.
We'll tell you, you're not going to leave hungry. And if you do, you can pop over to the Saginaw Club next door to the Speakeasy and continue dining. So we have another special course over there that you'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I am not imagining that I'm going to leave hungry, especially after being a part of this last year.
Yes.
So for our listeners that are hearing this, they're like, okay, awesome. 13 food vendors and entities that are involved, 7 that are new at the Temple, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Sunday's already sold out, correct, guys?
Correct.
It is.
Yes, it is.
So for Monday and Tuesday night, let's give the audience specifics. What time's the event? How can they get tickets? How can they potentially buy a table? If folks that are driving down the road or listening to their office go, you know what, I want to be part of a champagne tower. How do they get involved and come out and support the Eat Great event?
Yeah, absolutely. We want everyone to join. So on that Monday and Tuesday, it's broken into reservation times. So you have every half hour, every 30 minutes, going from 5:30 to 7:30. You have an opportunity to purchase a table. It's 5:30, 6, 6:30, 7, and we have about 5 to 6 tables open at every reservation time. So we have plenty of openings for you to come and join. You just have to go to our website, www.eatgreatfoodfestival.com, and there's a banner. I think it's right up on the front page, is how to purchase tickets to purchase a table. And to just let the audience know, you do purchase a full table, and that comes with 8 seats. So one table is $600, but broken across yourself and 7 other guests, it comes down to about $75 per guest. So we're really encouraging people to come on out and try those 13 different restaurants for a reasonable price. So we're really excited.
I have to tell you, one of the things that I've loved about the Dow Great Lakes Invitational since its inception was really its commitment to the community. It was very intentional that this was going to be a regional event, that this was, the golf tournament takes place for, 4 days in Midland at the Country Club, which is spectacular. But in terms of the impact that you wanted it to really go beyond just a 4-day golf tournament. And you wanted to find a way to engage the entire community, to be regional.
Absolutely.
And to, in this case, capitalism, fantastic, right? We're hoping to really promote our local restaurants, promote their food. You go to that event and you're trying something going, oh, I've never been to Pasong's, but this was amazing.
Yes.
So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to take my family and friends to
Absolutely.
Pasong's. But then on top of it, you've really tried to engage the nonprofit world.
Yes.
You've given back. Can you just talk about that grander vision? Because I love that we're talking about Eat Great in February
Mhm.
and a food festival and a cool event at the temple,
Yes.
which sounds like it would be amazing if it was just all by itself, a standalone.
Yes.
But it's really part of a larger picture of what Dow, the LPGA, the Invitational itself, the work with your company Outlier
Absolutely.
to engage the community. Can you talk about why that's been so important and how Dow and others have made this such a giant priority to engage the region in this manner?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of our key initiatives since the inception back in 2018, 2019 was to, like I said, enrich the region. So any sponsor dollars that we gain in the community, which we're very fortunate, we partner with over 250 community partners. It's fantastic, the support that we've received. But any dollars that we receive beyond our operating costs go right back into the community. So we are very proud that every year we're able to donate $500,000 or more back in direct cash to the community. That's spread out over a number of different initiatives. One of our biggest initiatives is called Team Up. It's a charitable giving program where we partner with 36 local nonprofits. In an effort for regionalism, we make sure that that's spread across all 4 counties in the region. But that program alone gives $240,000 back into the community. So to date, we've given over 1.5 million in cash back to the Great Lakes Bay region.
Yeah, I have been astounded at the impact the Invitationals had here in the region on the
Yeah.
community. I think it's been a great two-way street. You've found a way to engage others and give back and really be a unique and individual part of community as a series of events. But I think at the same time, it sure seems like the region has embraced the Dow
Yes.
Great Lakes Invitational, embraced the events that go with it.
Yes.
And if anything, at least from my take, I think the region's thirsty for more. I think they're like, okay, what's next? What new great idea do you have? One that, I love is the First Tee program
Yes.
and how you're getting young kids engaged in golf and, especially maybe those that wouldn't have otherwise been engaged and involved.
Absolutely.
Some at-risk communities and getting that next generation involved. Is there anything you want to talk about in terms of, what folks can expect here in the next few months with other events and things that are going on in the community related around the Invitational that aren't maybe directly the golf tournament, that are other things that really give an opportunity for the community to get engaged in?
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll really start to see things ramping up mid to late March. Obviously, with snow on the ground, although it's rained today, golf is not top of mind for most people in Michigan. So mid to end of March, we'll really start ramping things up with the launch of our volunteer program. Matt, as you know, we have 1,200 volunteers that come out every year to help make not just the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational a success, but all of the ancillary programs that we do. Talking about growth and the community kind of itching for more. Last year, we introduced a free player clinic that we hosted at Saginaw Country Club. It was a wonderful evening. We had Suzanne Pedersen and Catherine Kirk out there with Tom Abbott from the Golf Channel moderating. We have the First Tee Junior Clinic that we host during tournament week itself. Last year, we introduced Rock the Block for the first time, which was kind of a fun little block party downtown Midland, kicking off the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational. We also have the LPGA Leadership Academy that will be taking place in June. Our June is just loaded up with events, a lot of fun stuff to look forward to.
It's a lot of fun.
And if I'm not mistaken, Eat Great just doesn't end on Tuesday with the Winter Festival.
Oh, no.
Eat Great continues on through the course of the year and into the tournament. So can you talk about how that culinary experience really kind of keeps going?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Eat Great Winter kind of kicking off the year, we do a number of other things, trying to be in the community, whether that's a restaurant pop-up. So we'll go into a restaurant, partner with them and say, hey, from 4 p.m. till 7 p.m., an appetizer is free courtesy of Eat Great, right? And we'll do that in various restaurants around the region, or we'll try and piggyback off an already existing event. I think the Dow Tennis Classic is a great example of how Eat Great came in and helped elevate that hospitality experience by getting other groups involved, My Table, Creek Grill, all these other vendors.
Made me fall in love with Proper Taco. You guys have done some cool stuff at those events. Yeah.
Yes. So already existing events, trying to recruit and develop that kind of connection between restaurants and those hospitality events. That will be going on throughout the year as well. So you'll definitely see the Eat Great brand around.
Well, Cam, Alex, always great to have you on the Art Lewis Show. Art sends his best. He always and loves everything as it relates to the Dow GLBI and Eat Great. And I look forward to seeing you at the Champagne Tower and on the red carpet here in the next few days. So with that, folks, we'll be back after these messages here on the Art Lewis Show.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day,
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
The WSGW Morning Team.
Got a story that a piece of Star Wars memorabilia has made its way into the record books. In fact, Guinness has certified this as the most expensive movie prop gun ever sold at an auction.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Very nice. It's Han Solo's blaster.
How much?
$1,057,500. It's because it's the only surviving prop gun of the 3 original that were made for the original movie, A New Hope.
I never saw the movie, sorry.
You better get up to speed, because if we're ever to do the morning team version of Star Wars, you've got to play the role of Princess Leia.
Good luck with that.
I, of course, the casting would be Luke Skywalker.
Of course.
And Pat, because of
Absolutely.
the facial hair, has got to be Chewbacca.
Art can be Han Solo.
No, R2-D2.
R2-D2?
Yes.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, your morning team. 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in for Art today and tomorrow. Art is on a well-deserved vacation, and I hope he's working on his tan and getting some sun here this week. So I'm going to pivot here for the last 20 minutes of the show to talk about what transpired Monday evening at Michigan State University. So first of all, full disclosure, I'm an MSU grad, so this one hits way closer to home than a lot of other things that we see, but this one definitely impacted me in a different way. So first of all, you know, in the last hour, we had Zach McClellan from Prost on as well. Zach was and is an MSU alum as well, played hockey on the national championship team in the 2000s. And he talked about, you know, that being a little slice of heaven. You know, for those of us that go to Michigan State University and spend our time there, it becomes home. And the word home is very important here, because I don't think that word ever changes. When I'm back on the campus of Michigan State University, I feel at home. It becomes such a big part of you when you're in your collegiate years from, 18 to 22 or 23. You build lifelong friendships. You get that education that steers your career. And for me, through the years, it is one of those places that I love to go back to, whether it's a football game, a basketball game, to the dairy store to get an ice cream cone, occasionally, visiting back and maybe speaking to your college. So Monday evening, when the news started spreading that there was an active shooter at Michigan State, my heart dropped immediately. And it was one of those times when we see these shootings, at whether they be at K-12 institutions or at a university, especially as they relate to schools, you can oftentimes, it impacts you and you feel miserable. But, how many of us knew where Uvalde, Texas was before hearing about that shooting? Now, in this region, maybe a little bit more. We actually have a thriving Mexican-American population with a lot of folks who are from Uvalde. But for a lot of us, you probably hadn't heard about Uvalde until that shooting. When it happens at Michigan State, it's a little bit different. This region, there are thousands of alumni from the Great Lakes Bay region and here in our area, and those that are listening, many of you that are listening right now are probably Michigan State University graduates. Every year, our high schools, our graduates go on, and many stay in the area, the vast majority actually, but we send hundreds of our students down to Michigan State University. And when we do so, we're expecting them to go and have a great experience, for them to get their education. It's really going to be the foundation for their life. And we just never think that this is going to happen. And so it's just something I'd like to discuss here a little bit. And there's no other way to start than by giving the greatest condolences to the victims. And those are the only names that should be mentioned. We don't have to say any other names except for those three. Brian Frazier, a sophomore, originally from Grosse Pointe. Alexandria Werner, a junior from Clawson. And Ariel Anderson, a junior, also from Grosse Pointe, were the victims. Our deepest condolences go out to their families, to their friends, of course, to the university. Those are the names that need to be remembered. Those were the lives of 3 young people that were taken away from us far too soon. They were dynamic young leaders and individuals that had bright futures ahead of them, and that was stolen this week, and incredibly unfortunate. We're going to talk a little bit more after the commercial break about just why these things transpire and maybe some of the things that we can all do and think about to hopefully prevent that next tragedy. But we're going to take a break here on the Art Lewis Show, and we'll be back after these messages.
Hey! Hey, guys! Hey! Come check out our store! Ooh, watch this fancy footwork! Woo! Hey, come check out our store! It's really cool!
Hey, let's just say there's a better way to get noticed. Brothers Designs is your one-stop destination for all of your graphic design needs. Business logos, signage, vehicle wraps, posters, business cards, uniforms and apparel, and more. If you want to turn heads and increase business, let's talk. Online at brothersdesignsmi.com. Brothers Designs. Get noticed.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Superior Insurance Group, Nextdoor Trader, and MDL Companies bring to you the second annual Rat Pack Gala. We invite you Saturday, February 18th to get your tux and petticoats out for the classiest event of the year. Step back in time with the Summit Tribute Group, Deke's Paradise Casino, a 17-piece orchestra, and the Rat Pack. Enjoy an evening out with dinner, casino, and a show. This formal fundraiser will be one to remember. Entire ticket proceeds to benefit Leaders for America that focus on strengthening the leadership culture across the nation. Leaders for America will be investing in the young people in Bay County, creating a culture of personal and community growth. Dance the night away with Marilyn Monroe to the sounds of Sinatra, Martin, and Davis. Cash bar, casino, and dinner from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m., followed by the big show from 8 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. Join us Saturday, February 18th for good food, great entertainment, and most important, a good cause. Visit theratpackgala.live for your tickets today.
When we told growers that New Bear Premium Trifold herbicide for corn delivers visibly clean fields for up to 8 weeks, they were a bit skeptical.
We'll see how it works.
So we decided to prove it. We set up cameras in multiple cornfields, treated them with Trivolt, and filmed for 24 hours a day. For 8 weeks, we saw a variety of weather conditions, and Trivolt worked. See for yourself at trivoltinaction.com. Trivolt is a restricted use pesticide. Consult your state pesticide regulator for specific restrictions. Read and follow pesticide label directions.
Each season, farmers put it all on the line. So it's just good business to get every advantage you can. That's why the Roundup Ready Extend crop system created the Spray Early Weed Control Guarantee. When you spray before or at planting, you can give yourself a season-long advantage over weeds, and it can help boost your yield potential. Show weeds you mean business and learn more about guaranteed weed control at RoundupReadyExtend.com/sprayearly. Guarantee is subject to program terms and conditions. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
Mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis or RA. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a pill for adults with moderate to severe RA when tumor necrosis factor blockers did not work well or could not be tolerated. Xeljanz can help relieve joint pain, swelling, and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start if you have one. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers including lymphoma and lung, blood clots, serious heart-related events, tears in the stomach or intestines, and allergic reactions have happened. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of death. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, are prone to infections, or have ever had a heart attack, stroke, clot, or other heart problems, or swelling of lips, tongue, throat, or hives. Ask your doctor about prescription Xeljanz. Visit Xeljanz.com or call 1-844-XELJANZ.
Fabry to Larkin, he scores! Robbie Fabry found Larkin off the left side goalpost. This one's a power play goal.
The Red Wings play 9:15 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the last segment of the Art Lewis Show here on Wednesday. Matt Felan here filling in for Art, who's on vacation. And we're spending this last part of the program talking about the tragedy at Michigan State University on Monday evening. And, I'm going to personalize this a little bit as someone who went to Michigan State in the 90s. When I grew up, I remember fire drills. I remember tornado drills. I don't ever remember active shooter drills. Just wasn't something we had to think about. When I was at Michigan State, I felt like I was in the safest place in the world. There was never any concern that anything bad was going to happen. Probably my biggest fear was getting lost on campus because campus was so big. And, we're back in the mid 90s. There was no iPhone to guide the way. You had to, when you were lost, literally ask someone, "Excuse me, sir, where do I find X building?" And that was the biggest worry that I had. I am a father and have a 16 and a 13-year-old. And unfortunately, we live in a world where, they have a tornado drill. I'm sure they have a fire drill, but they have lockdown drills. And the students are smart. They know what that lockdown drill's for. We live in a world now where school shootings have become the norm, unfortunately. And our kids today have to live that life. So I can tell you as a parent, I sit my kids down a few times a year and say, if something were to transpire in your school, here's what you do. First of all, God gave you speed as a gift. Run, get away, get out a door, get out a window, run as far away as you can, and find help. If you can't, hide, get in a room, lock the door, barricade the door with everything you can, get out of sight, hide in a corner. And worst case, if that doesn't work, you got to fight. Do you have something to throw? Do you have something to hit with? Are 10 of you ready to attack someone? That happened Monday at MSU. It sounds ridiculous saying this out loud, but that was a communication which came from the university to its student body. Run, hide, fight. It's so hard to even discuss that we live in a world where when we send our kids here from the region to go to MSU or any school, or you send them today, that you probably have to have that conversation with your children to be prepared to deal with this, that they could at some point find themselves in that position. So here's what's sad. Here's what's frustrating for me. When I heard the news that it was MSU and my heart sunk, was I surprised? No. It's a massive university with a ton of people. And in this case, and I don't know if the word more frustrating even makes sense, it wasn't even someone involved with the university that was a perpetrator of this crime. It was just a simple, community member, which kind of gets us to the point of, okay, what do we do, folks? Because I don't, we're going to have different opinions on school shootings and the issues that surround school shootings. Some of those issues we have seemed to take to extremes where we can't even debate the issues rationally. Someone's either pro this or anti that, and we struggle to have the conversations about just how do we reduce these, right? Some people are going to want to blame the weapon that's used. Others are going to tell you it's the person. But what I think is, what are the things that we know that we can handle? It's impossible not to talk about this without talking about mental health. I think at the end of the day, anyone who's going to take any weapon to go and kill another person has a serious mental health issue. And I think over the last few years with COVID and the challenges our students have had, and, for so many that may not live in the best situations, having to be at home more, having to learn online, kids that finished high school and they weren't in the classroom and maybe didn't finish and they're struggling and they're in a bad situation. Just the pure medical aspect of it. Mental health is a very serious issue in our country and right here in the Great Lakes Bay region. So there's lots of issues that we can debate, but mental health is not one of them, folks. I think at the end of the day, when we talk about how do we prevent these kind of issues, I think that we should all be looking to get the appropriate mental health care that we need. And there's always been stigmas associated with it, right? If I would break my arm, or if I had a cancer diagnosis, heck, people would throw a benefit dinner for me, right? And we'd be at the hall and a spaghetti dinner and a silent auction, and we would raise a ton of money. But oh boy, someone has a mental health issue, we're almost embarrassed by that, and we don't want to talk about it. And that has been a mistake. And so one of the things we really need to do, folks, is to break down the stigmas of mental health. We need to have open and honest dialogues and discussion. We need to get people care that they desperately need. We need more resources. I can tell you, someone who's intimately involved in education in schools, both from a work and a personal perspective on a school board, we've got to do so much more. Our students have to have access to mental health care. They have to be encouraged to talk about these things. This is a huge deal that, if we really want to see school shootings decline, hey, the very first thing and the number one issue that we need to address is mental health. Are there other issues that need to be addressed? Absolutely. As an example, the perpetrator of Monday's crime, he should not have had a weapon. He should not have had access to a gun. He had mental health issues. He had been through the legal systems with weapons charges. There's a lot of great existing laws that are on the books that probably could have and should have prevented that issue. I think at the end of the day, what we want is for people to have their freedoms and their rights, but at the same point, some appropriate laws and restrictions that make sure that these weapons are only in the hands of law-abiding citizens and people that aren't up to nefarious purposes. But I think at the end of the day, quite frankly, that's secondary to that mental health crisis that's going on. I think if there's one last thing I would say, it's that we have to trust our students, that they are probably the greatest warning sign ever, that they're going to be able to see which classmates or friends have a problem, that they have to understand that they have a responsibility to their friends and to their school, that if they see something, they need to say something. And if they see someone that needs help, to really go out and maybe take that extra step. At the end of the day, I think, my frustration of this week is I would just like to see this stop happening and for our kids not to have to worry about that. And I think regardless of our views on various issues, we all can agree that this is too many and this was too close to home. So thank you, everyone, for joining this edition of the Art Lewis Show. We'll be back again after these messages.
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Enjoy all the benefits of Liberty Bridge for free until April. Save time and fuel by taking the most convenient route to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge. Brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. For your passport to the lowest rates once tolling begins, get your BC Pass before April at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our half-off deals going on right now from Applied Training Solutions, Daylight Outfitters, Super Cute, Salon Blue, the Bubble Tea Brew House, and Style Encore. All of these deals are half off. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal before they sell out.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 7.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money at a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 7.99% APR to 21.49% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
That wraps up this edition of the Art Lewis Show. I'd like to thank Zach and Marisa, Cam and Alex for joining me today. We're going to have Focus up next. I'll be hosting Focus today with Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery out of Midland. But first, the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Outrage in a Buffalo courtroom. A person lunges at the man who shot and killed 10 black people at a supermarket last May. The gunman was taken out of the room. This came as relatives of the dead spoke out at his sentencing hearing.
Even with all of the heartache that you have caused, you still have failed to break our family spirit. You thought you broke us, but you awoke us. We all know the pure hatred and motivations behind your heinous crime, and we are here to tell you that you failed.
The 19-year-old gunman, Peyton Gendron, will get an automatic life sentence. Police say they're still hunting for a motive for the mass shooting at Michigan State University.
I never thought it would happen to me.
Freshman Ryan Cahalan sheltered with his girlfriend in a nearby library that night.
Mass shootings are becoming common, and it's just not an okay thing. Like, we need to do something about it.
Students painted the words, "How many more?" on a campus landmark.
Words are not good enough. We must act, and we will.
Flags in Michigan were lowered to half staff. Classes at the university have been canceled for the remainder of the week. Charlie DeMar, CBS News, East Lansing, Michigan.
Acting FAA Administrator Billy Nolan is telling Congress he's taking action in the wake of the computer snafu last month that halted departing traffic for nearly 2 hours around the country.
Could I sit here today and tell you there will never be another issue on the NOTAM system? No, sir, I cannot. What I can say is that we are making every effort to modernize and look at our procedures.
Ukraine needs weapons, and NATO's promised and delivered help. But as CBS's Cammie McCormick tells us, there are concerns.
Ukraine is going through a lot of ammunition, and NATO allies discussed their dwindling supplies. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin.
Even as we rush to support Ukraine in the critical months ahead, we must all replenish our stockpiles to strengthen our deterrence and defense for the long term.
He said Russia continues to pour large numbers of additional people into the fight, but he said Ukraine has a real good chance of making a significant difference on the battlefield going forward.
The forecasters say 40 million people are in the path of what could be some rough, stormy weather. CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson is tracking it.
The severe weather threat actually extends as far north as Cleveland, Ohio, maybe as far north as Buffalo. That is how wide this severe threat is. So while tornadoes and hail are going to be mostly limited to the south, there is a general wind threat that goes all the way on up.
Ohio's Attorney General has now dropped charges against a TV reporter who was handcuffed and arrested after a live shot during a news conference by the governor last week about that train wreck. Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 166 points. This is CBS News.
At Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, an evening with James Taylor.
Oh, I've seen fire, I've seen rain.
Friday night, June 23rd, part of the Soaring Eagle Summer Outdoor Concert Series.
How sweet it is to be loved by.
Tickets start at $36, on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com.
Oh, Mexico, you got a friend.
James Taylor, Under the Stars, June 23rd at Soaring Eagle Casino.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Bearded Axe in Saginaw. You are going to get half off of a 1-hour session of axe throwing for a group of 4. It's $40. They offer hourly times for axe throwing, ninja stars, and tomahawks. Bearded Axe is a local veteran-owned business. They're located at 4375 Bay Road in Saginaw. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
The purchase of new buses for the Stars aging fleet, as well as helping Stars to improve and grow services. Kildee made remarks earlier today alongside Mayor Brenda Moore and Stars Executive Director Glenn Steffens. The Mid-Michigan Children's Museum is teaming up with local businesses for their most important fundraising event of the year. The Kids at Heart fundraiser is scheduled for March 16th, starting at 6 p.m. It is a 21 and older event. The museum will host both live and silent auctions featuring items from businesses including Dow Gardens, the Workwear Store, and more. Tickets are $30 each. The museum hopes to raise $70,000 to make updates and bring in events for the community. For more information, visit mychildrensmuseum.org. Areas across Michigan had record high temperatures yesterday for a Valentine's Day. One was set at Flint Bishop Airport with a 56 degrees, breaking the old record of 52 set in 1939. A record high temperature was also recorded at MBS Airport in Freeland, hitting 55 and breaking the old record of 49 set in 1915. WSGW News Time 11:07.
Your home is your haven, and energy-efficient window treatments can make it feel even more comfortable throughout the year. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Save big with rebates on qualifying purchases of energy-efficient shades from Hunter Douglas that can help keep your home cool in the summer and warm during winter, all while helping you save on energy consumption during the Hunter Douglas Energy Smart Style Savings Event. Vignette Modern Roman shades offer contemporary glamour with luxurious fabrics, while Sonnet Cellular Roller shades beautifully diffuse light to create a soft glow. Duet Honeycomb shades are the industry's leading energy-efficient window treatments. They feature a special cellular design that traps air to keep your home insulated from outdoor temperatures. Hunter Douglas window treatments can help you save on energy costs in every season. Don't wait to shop the Hunter Douglas Energy Smart Style Savings Event now through April 10th. Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth, celebrating over 60 years in business. We'll help you bring it all together.
WSGW News Time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help locating a missing person. 32-year-old Mark Zielinski was last seen his home in Bedford Town.